Hello everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Mehjabin Fatima, Commerce Lecturer at Elizabeth High School and Junior College. Today we are going to start our third chapter in commerce, that is sole proprietorship, joint Hindu family business and cooperative societies. So in our previous chapters we have learnt about business and we discussed about why do we need business and what are the advantages in business and what are the risks and disadvantages included in business. Now in this chapter we are going to learn about the different forms of business and which form has more advantages and which form includes more risk in doing business. So as we know, business organization is an organized entity having group of people working together to achieve a common goal. So there is a group of people who are working together to achieve a common goal. To that we are calling it as business. And in order to carry out any business and to achieve its objectives of earning profit, it is required to bring together all the resources and put them into action in a systematic way and to control all the activities properly. This arrangement is known as business organization. So we have already discussed about the business organization, that a common group of people, they form together and they do business to achieve a common goal. And in order to carry out the business and its activities, it is very much required to bring all the resources together and put them into action in a systematic way. What do you mean by form of business? So form of business is nothing but an arrangement of ownership and management of business organization is termed as form of business. So there is a proper arrangement of ownership and management, to that we are calling it as form of business. So form of business can be owned or managed by a single person. So business organization may be owned or managed by a single person, to that we are calling it as sole proprietor. And a group of people can also have the business organization, to that we are calling it as partnership or a form of a company, that is joint stock company. So in India there are various forms of business organizations exist to suit the requirements of different business undertakings. Broadly, forms of business organizations can be divided into the following categories. So in our country we are having different forms of business organizations and different business undertakings, and they does exist to suit the requirement of different business undertakings. Now they have been classified into three categories. They are private undertakings, public undertakings and joint sector undertakings. So these are the three forms of business organization we can say. Now when you see private undertakings, again we are having different classifications under private undertakings. They are the sole proprietorship, means the single ownership, and then the partnership. Different group of peoples will form together to do this business. So to that we are calling it as partnership form of business organization. And then we are having joint Hindu family business, and then cooperative societies and joint stock company. These all comes under private undertakings. And when you see public undertakings, we are having again three classifications. They are departmental organization, public corporation, government companies. And then our last category will be joint sector undertakings. Today in our class we are going to study about sole proprietorship, that is single ownership of business organization. And later on in our next classes we are going to continue about this topics: joint Hindu family, cooperative society, joint stock company, etc. So we will study about them later. Now we will focus about sole proprietorship. Let's start with sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship is the oldest form of business organization, and normally we can see it very easily, and in our locality we can find out sole proprietorship very frequently. Now the meaning of sole is single person and proprietorship means the ownership or owner. So in short we can say sole proprietorship as single owner. That means the single person who is holding the entire business. Now there is a definition given by J.L. Hansen, that A type of business unit where one person is solely responsible for providing the capital. Means there is a single person who is only responsible for providing all the capital and funds to the business and bearing the risk of the enterprise, and the same person will bear the risk that are included in the enterprise and for the management of the business, and he will only manage all the business by himself. So I hope with this definition you understood about the sole proprietorship very clearly. Now let's see what are the features that included in sole proprietorship. So a person who is the owner of the business and who is working alone for the progress of his business is called as sole proprietorship. And again, to understand the topic sole proprietorship very clearly, we are going to discuss about the synopsis of sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship is a business owned, managed and controlled by a single person. So the single person is only the owner of the business and he is only the manager of the business and he is only the controller of the business. So all the works or all the activities are done under the supervision of a single person, and it is common in areas of personalized. It means it is very much common in providing good services. And the example of sole proprietorship is retailship, shops, beauty parlors and loans. So this is the short synopsis of sole proprietorship. Now let's see what are the features of sole proprietorship. Our first feature of sole proprietorship is formation and closure. So if you want to start your own business, it totally depends upon you when you want to start your business and when you want to close your business. And there is no separate act for sole proprietorship to govern it. Like for the formation of any company, we have to take the help of Companies Act, and the meaning of liability is the loan which a proprietor has taken from other organizations, and to pay back that liability, if the assets of business are not enough, then the personal assets can be sold out in single proprietorship as it has unlimited liabilities. Our next feature is sole risk bearer and profit recipient. So as he is the single owner of the business organization, and so he will bear all the risk. All the risk will be borne by the single person, and he is the only person who is owning or managing the business, so he will only enjoy the profit recipient. All the profits will be enjoyed by the sole proprietor. One man control. One man control, we have already discussed that the single person will only manage and control all the business, and he or she will prepare the plan and execute those plans for the business organization under their own supervision. So to that we can say there is only one man control, where the single person is only owning, controlling and managing the business organization. Our next feature is no separate entity, which means law is not differentiating the owner and his business. Means law is not separating the owner from his own business. Owner will be only responsible for all the works which is done by him under the name of business, and there is no separate entity for the business. And our last feature of sole proprietorship is lack of business continuity. Like if the owner became ill, or if the owner dies, or if the owner become mentally retarded. So in such cases there is a lack of business continuity. The business cannot be run because he is the only person who is responsible to undertake all the business activities, and if something happens to the same person, how can he continue his business? So in such scenario there is a lack of business continuity. Business cannot run all the time if anything happens to the owner of the business. Now on the basis of features of sole proprietorship, we can differentiate the merits and demerits of sole proprietorship. Now let's begin with merits. So our first merit is quick decision making. As stated earlier, nobody interferes in the affairs of the sole proprietorship business. Hence, he or she can take quick decisions on the various issues relating to business and accordingly prompt action can be taken. So, under single proprietorship, only the single person is responsible for taking all the decisions and no one will interfere in single proprietorship, as they don't have any right to interfere, and all the decisions which are taken by the sole proprietor, he is only responsible for those decisions and he can plan those decisions and he can take prompt action accordingly with that decisions. So, he can take quick decision making. He need not to ask with others what to do or what not to do. He is the only person who can take quick decisions for his own business organization. And there is no chance to delay in decision making. Next merit is confidentiality. He or she need not to give information to others about his business, and all the information of sole proprietorship can be kept secretly or confidentially. Our next merit is easy to form and wind up. So, as we have discussed earlier, it is very easy and simple to form a business organization solely, and as it requires less time and less legal formalities. And another advantage of sole proprietorship is that if the proprietor decides to wind up his business, he can wind up it at any time. So, it is very easy for a sole proprietor to form a business and to wind up a business. Next merit is flexibility in operations. So, generally sole proprietorship concern runs on a small basis, and if any change in operation is required, it is possible without having huge expenditure. So, here under sole proprietorship, the person need not to expend huge amount, and there will be a flexibility in operations. Next feature is direct motivation. So, in single proprietorship concern, the entire profit of the business is enjoyed by the owner himself. So, he or she, they try to put his or her whole, they will try to put their whole heart and soul so as to earn as much profit as they can, and there is direct relationship in efforts and earning. This motivates the owner to work hard and run the business effectively and efficiently. Our next feature is personal contact with customer. Since the proprietor handles everything relating to business, it's very easy to maintain the personal contact with customers and employees. By knowing their likes, dislikes and taste of the customers, the proprietor can decide or adjust his operations accordingly. Next merit is self-employment. So, the sole proprietorship form of business, it provides or offers the means of self-employment to the persons who do not want to work under other supervisions. So, for them it is the good opportunity to have a sole proprietorship form of business organization. And the last merit of sole proprietorship is inexpensive management. As the sole proprietor is the owner, manager and controller of his own business, there is no need to appoint specialized employees for various operations of business. He or she can personally supervise his own business and all the activities undertaken in such business organization. So, these all are the merits of the sole proprietor. Now, let us see what are the demerits or limitations of sole proprietorship. If any particular business is successful, then why do we need other forms of business? This is the questions, right? That means no business is perfect. So, no business has perfections. So, we are having some limitations to sole proprietorship. And first limitation is limited resources. All the resources here are limited. The resources of sole proprietor are always limited. Business totally depends upon investments, and being single owner, it is always not possible to arrange sufficient funds from his own resources. So, proprietor has limited capacity to take funds for his business. Every business, it depends upon the investments of its owner. So, if the owner is having the limited funds, then how can the business progress? So, this is the biggest limitation of sole proprietorship, that it is not possible to arrange sufficient funds from the resources of the sole proprietor. That is why it has limitation, that it has limited resources. Next demerit is limited life of business. So, as we have discussed earlier, if the owner fell ill, or if the owner dies, or if the owner mentally retarded, then the business cannot run, as he is the only person who is responsible to take up all the activities in his own business. So that is why there is a limited life of business. There is a limited life of sole proprietorship business form of organization. Another limitation is that it has unlimited liability. As we have discussed earlier, the liabilities of the sole proprietorship is unlimited, and his or her private properties can also be used for meeting business losses and obligations. And unlimited liability also restricts him to work, as he always tries to be cautious in taking any kind of risk. So this is the biggest disadvantage of sole proprietorship. Next limitation is limited managerial ability. So a sole proprietorship form of business organization always suffers from lack of managerial expertise. A single person may not be expert in all the fields, so it has limited managerial ability. A single person cannot manage everything. Another limitation is wrong decision. A sole proprietor has to take all the decisions by himself. He cannot consult experts to have proper knowledge about various aspects of business. So there is a possibility of taking wrong decisions which may lead to the loss in the business concern. So that is why this is also the biggest limitation of sole proprietorship. And last but not least, it is not suitable for long scale operations. As financial resources and managerial abilities of sole proprietorship are very much limited, this form of organization is not suitable for long scale operations, as long scale operation cannot run on less financial resources and less managerial abilities. So these all are the limitations of sole proprietorship. So I hope you understood about sole proprietorship and its advantages and limitations very well. Here we will wind up our class. We will continue with different forms of organizations in our next class. Thank you.